It is running. To the extent that my internet can do it, it is running. Alright. We are streaming once again. It's been a few weeks, but we're back. Yep. So, I am Tom LeBlanc, the PunkMaster, reffing this game for everyone. And we have several new people, and one who's going to be here in a few minutes is running a bit late. So, whoever, let's see. Actually, who would like to go first? Who wants to jump in and tell us about yourself and your character, or whatever you want to say? All right, who is wants to talk next? I know Stringer's not in yet. Marcellus, you want to tell us about Marcellus? All right. Let's see who is left. We talked about Marcellus. Talked about Patman. How about Vex? I like the backstories, guys, so far. That's terrific. And it looks like Stringer is not here yet, but that's okay. Talk to him in a minute here. I'm just looking over the new sheets here some. Oops. Let's see. Nope. Maybe. So let's see. I know Stringer had something to do. We're going to advance from when the last actual episode was. We're going to be advancing in time some, but I think Stringer had something he wanted to try and do first. So we'll see if he shows up if he gets in quick enough to be able to do that. I think we talked about. Let me actually flip over here to the building. Yep. Oh, okay. I gotcha. Yep. Well, we've had several sessions so far, but definitely not against a comment or a assistance on something I might miss. Let's see, all good. It's all good in any case. Let's see. Well, yep. Well, I am. Come on, Roll20 is not wanting to switch. Everybody, are you still looking at the map of Night City, or are you seeing? You are showing the building front. So why? Oh, I know why. I know. I bet I know why. Give me just a moment. And that should take care of that here in a few seconds once Roll20 decides it's okay for me to see the screen again. That takes care of that problem. Okay. Yeah. Maybe. There it is. Excellent. Oh boy. Professionals here. We're professionals, right? Anyway, sorry about that, guys. Yeah, go ahead. Yes, thank you. That is exactly what I needed to do. It's been a few weeks, but we're gonna. Excuse me. We are gonna do that. I am just gonna pull them up and make sure I don't miss something on my own notes here. Okay. One thing I want to mention: we do most rolls or many rolls instead of doing just versus for the core book rolls, which are more versus a difficulty level, like hard or whatever. Anyway, sorry. More gets difficulty level, we do opposed rolls. So when you get shot at or someone shooting at you, you're not going against a set number ahead of time. It depends on the roll, the dodge and escape roll of the person you're shooting at, the character you're shooting at. I try to do opposed rolls whenever we can. I think it really adds to the game, and there's more variety. Certainly. I would say, depending on the martial arts involved, it's going to be within melee range. If you're doing, if it's a melee event, melee attacks, so on, it's going to be your uh, melee or martial arts dodge bonus, dodge and martial arts skill and dodge bonus. If it's anything ranged, that's going to be your regular dodge and escape. Okay. Amazing, excellent. I appreciate that. No, but same thing with like stealth rolls and some other things like that are going to be potentially be opposed rolls instead of a set difficulty. Um, if you're trying to hide, if one character is trying to hide or be stealthy or get away from another character, then it's going to be an opposed roll like awareness, notice, or appropriate skills to spot them, that kind of thing. What else I mentioned here? We are using the PunkGenerator.com life path for most of us anyway, for the base life path. What else was I going to look at here? Make sure we cover. We are basing on 70-point characters before the start. I think everybody's been through that. Everybody should have their cyber. There are a couple of other things. Gear. There's no what's this? Is it? There's no cloaks of useful items. Is the comparison I like to make. If you didn't buy it and put it on your sheet ahead of time, you don't have it. There's no of course I would have a flashlight. Why wouldn't I have a flashlight? Well, if you didn't buy it and put it on your sheet, you don't have it. That's just the way that works. Yeah. So, having said that, if there's something somebody missed, this would be a good time to go spend the eddies and get something. Things like purchase prices for items, for clothing, for cyberware, install availability of those things is very in game. It's going to be completely variable. Character generation, it was very open, and you could book prices, but beyond that, it's going to vary. It's going to jump around. For the most part, I think a lot of it is very volatile market, and what's available, especially when you get into armor piercing rounds, which unless you have the right license is illegal. And some other things. So, there's all that. Hey, Stringer. Excellent. Yes, we can. We are actually just doing, the stream is running, so you know. And if you want to do, since you're back now, if you want to do a quick, since it's been a few weeks, of who you are, who Stringer is, and quick introduction thing. Austin, can you hear me? Okay, I was saying if you would do a quick, since it's been a few weeks since we played and we got so many new people and stuff. Everybody else has done a quick introduction of their character. I was going to see if you'd do a quick who is Stringer, also for the stream. Okay. And We are in Night City. I'm going to switch over. This is the condo building where most of the PCs are staying. We've got some new people. We're going to go over how that's going to work. And I'll flip over here to Night City as we currently know it. We have the classic map there on the north side that anybody who's played before is probably familiar with. But for my game, we had the addition down on the south of Charter Hill South area, with that black line down toward the south end of that area being a border wall fence wall between the low to moderate zone, we'll say, that is Charter Hill South, and the true combat zone. Also, we'll notice on that map there are, as I get flipped over here, there are some areas outlined in red over in this area. Those are areas that have all been construction fenced in, and all the buildings and everything inside have been demolished. And popping up all over in this area, as you see, are these Robert Roberts property management, Robert Roberts real estate signs. So this area has all been fenced in, and actually, I'm going to do this real quick because also this area, just as a rough line here, but that area over here has also been fenced in, construction fence, and that building actually blew up. And we got some new people that haven't heard the info. So, again, Austin Stringer, would you be up for doing a quick rundown of some of the history? Because I know Pac-Man heard it last time, but we got some other people that haven't heard it yet. Would you do a quick rundown of what's been going on here in the explosions and so on? Would you be up for that? I appreciate it. Days. that Yep. Yep, there's a lot of unknowns at this point still, but just kind of have to see how it plays out. As anybody doesn't know yet, that console was as you were saying, Stringer was saying, trying to regentrify this whole area, this Charter Hill South area. Got a bunch of gangs together to actually go back to their roots, where some of these gangs came from, and open actual businesses in this area. So, like the Bozos have their circus, Western Stars have a Western themed theater over on the other side there. And if it's not clear here, this whole area on this side was actually a flood some time ago. While this area is being, back around the time that Night City was being rebuilt, this area was meant to be part of the regular Night City, but there was a flood from the bay. And concentrating on the main portion, the northern side of Night City, they kind of let this area go. So that's where that is. We have the flip back over again. So this is the condo building, and again, this is where Stringer has a condo in here. Let's see, Pac-Man, did we go over? Do you have a space here? Did we work that out already? I think we did last week, but I wanted to make sure. Right, friend of a friend thing there. Right. I had him and Marcellus and Vex. Are you good on your sheets? Do we need to address anything before we start bringing you in? Okay. Okay. I'll be, as we're going here, I'll be looking over the sheets if I see something we need to correct. But for the most part, as long as you were following the books and didn't go over on points or something, we should all be good. So, but I'll go over that. I'll be reading through that stuff while we're playing here. So Vex, as you were going to be coming into town, you found out your pack. Actually, that's a point. We didn't decide what pack you're from, did we? Mm-hmm. The Gypsy Hearts. Are what book or where are they from? pull that, see if I've got that one. Okay. Okay, so you believe there that the pack is from the book, but you pulled your info from somewhere else. Is that right? Ah, okay, gotcha. Yeah, yeah, they're pretty much. Yep. Yeah, I'm gonna say probably the Jodes, without having gotten a chance to read through the other pack, but probably Jodes would be better. Now, I'll have to look up. You've got, if you don't have notes in your sheet of each, and I will look them up. So possibly they are closely related or something. I'll have to do some research on that to make sure we get that in a good way that works for the game. But if we say the Jodes and what we're gonna do, they actually hold maintain a condo in this building. The Jodes do for outriders, scouts, and such that are running through Night City to give them some place to rest up and stay. So you would be given the code, the access to that, so you have somewhere that you can crash while you're in town. And you would be told, as everybody has been, the one of the big rules of the building of the homeowners association in this place. It's a night you get a good. They are reasonably good places. Reasonably nice place to live, clean. As was mentioned earlier, there is a lady that helps with keeping the common areas clean and stuff like that. And utilities are pretty reliable for this building. Building services are pretty reliable. It's still not the top end of town. It's not perfect. But the biggest rule that's important is not bringing work in quotes, home with you. You don't conduct business. You don't do meetings in the lobby, stuff like that. That's one of the ways they've been able to keep this building from getting torn up and getting blown up and walls getting shot out and drive-bys and all that fun stuff. Is you just don't bring work, you don't bring your business back to the condo. So you've got access to not apartment, but a condo in here, which means you also have access to a parking space. Do you have? Yes, you've got the bike, so you do have access to a parking space. Over here. So this is the check my maps here. Anyway, this is the basic layout of the first couple floors of the building. The lower, there is the most of the main floor, and the first subfloor is a parking garage. So you'll have a space available there to put your bike. There's that. And Marcellus, did you get a vehicle? And let me see. Your backstory is what you got. I not surprised, but I'm sorry. What's that? Well, you never know. Okay. So, you, as your background is more urban, is homeless, and you said you kind of grown up and you've spent your time kind of bouncing around on the street, right? So at this point, there is a small, very small, behind. Okay, let me flip back over to the other map, the other layout here. Actually, this one doesn't show it. Yeah, this one doesn't show. We'll flip back over. Behind. Oh, I know where I was going to look for it. Pardon me, guys. Okay. All right. So this is the condo building right here. If you can all see my mark pop up. Behind, which doesn't exactly match the layout that we saw before in the picture, but you know, you can imagine. But there's the building. It is kind of elongated there. The back side of the building here is a open to the air parking lot, an open area. There is actually a spot over in this corner where there's a natural divide, or not natural, but there is a dividing wall at this back edge of the parking lot, and a couple people have set up campsites along this back wall. And the agreement has been with the building is as long as you do stay at the very back, and again, as long as you're not causing trouble, not doing deals, not causing a lot of extra traffic or a lot of issues back here, that the people in that run the building, that run the association, haven't messed with you. So you actually have a small campsite back here that has been mostly unmolested. It is up to you if you are the type that would want to pack up your little tent and stuff every time you go somewhere and have a bag to throw it in, or if you just leave it set up. But I will say it has been there, and for the most part, it hasn't been bothered. This building and whoever runs it and stuff seems to have had either really good luck or is paying somebody off or something, the owners association and so on here, something, because in general this whole lot just doesn't seem to get molested very, very much. Stuff has happened around it. It's a low-end mod zone. There are shootings, there are gang violence, there's all kinds of stuff going on. But this square right there where the building is and stuff just seems to hold its own, not have much problems. Now if that works, if all that works with what you were thinking for your character and stuff, Oh, perfect. All right, perfect then. That works out. Well, and I will say, having been staying there for a little while, I don't know how long you want to say your character's been in town, or if you grew up in Night City in general. But you will have heard rumors and stuff that people who have been staying along this area and who have not caused trouble and so on, as they become, if they do enough work, if they find the right connections, if they make the money, whatever, some of them have somehow acquired condos in the building. And every now and then, one of the other people, one of the other transients that are sleeping or have a tent in this area have pointed to a car pulling out of the building or something like that. And go, he used to have the tent down on the end over here, that kind of stuff. Just an indication that is a possibility. Try and move up in the world a bit. So, let's see. So, oops. That's right. There you go. And let's see the stringer. I don't think on your the Nomad Pack from your history there that you're just mentioning, you haven't had any contact. We haven't done anything with him in game, have we? Okay. Okay. Well, I am gonna say that snacks is a typo, and it's the um. What did, damn it! What did we just say, man? Jude. Job's. Job. Yeah, yeah. That's the pack that you knew, and okay. Right. So it won't be that pack uh, for this part of this. So yeah, if you want to change your notes, that's going to be the pack that you had in your background. So you haven't made contact or done anything with them anyway to affect the game. So we're going to modify that. Um, and which is one of the original, if not the original, official. You know, if the original Nomad packs could be called official packs. But Rubio is the local group. There is a group that doesn't. Well, it's a Nomad pack. They don't stay in town for long, but there is a small group of Jodes that come through town periodically. They are outriders, scouts. They're the ones looking. First of all, checking the path that the main pack is going to be traveling along, looking for work for the pack, looking for supplies for the pack, doing all that stuff. So Rubio is with that group that periodically comes through town. They actually, when they're in town, they'll, depending on how many of them are in the group that come through, they will use that condo in the building. And you know which one it is. In fact, we'll do. I'm gonna pull up. Actually, I'm gonna pull up my notes in the building. We'll just do some numbers here real quick on which condos you're in, and so that is assigned, so we know where we're going. And then we'll get to Pac-Man. I know you wanted to go see Bullet here in a moment. We'll get started with that. I apologize. We're kind of having a slow start for actual role play today because lots of new people. Yeah. Can only hear me. Well, okay. How about if I go take a look at what the deal with that is? Uh, oh, well, yeah, that would make sense because no, because I didn't have that button pushed on voice meter. So if she's still watching or listening, if you could double check and make sure that everybody else can be heard now. Okay, I appreciate that. Okay, I am pulling up my notes. We're going to do a quick roll or two on condo numbers. Only because what floor, mostly because of what floor number. That was you, and that is what you got him. Let's see here. Sorry, I was pulling up my notes. You actually what you did for the pack for your friend Rubio in exchange for kind of a future favor. Last time they were coming through town, you got him access serendipitously, yeah, access to that condo, and gave him the payment information. And basically, as long as for the new people too, there has been anybody that's been in the building long enough, as long as the bills, which is The base utilities are included, and you have a homeowner association fee. And as long as that homeowner association fee is paid, and there's no problems, no complaints about a given unit, nobody bothers you. So that's kind of the way it goes, you know. So Stitcher kind of disappeared. Rubio and his pals needed a place to stay some time ago as they were coming through, so they started. You got them hooked up with this one. You were able to get access to Stitcher's place and get them in there, and they've been covering the bill since that happened. And yes, I'm playing with time just a little bit, but I have that power, so. And I don't. So far, nobody. Yeah, nobody complained about the bus parked in the parking garage. If anybody watched the old or familiar with the old Max Headroom show and stuff, Stringer actually purchased Blank Reg's old bus, and it had been parked in the garage for some time, and just recently it's not parked there anymore. So that's right. I think that just depends on money, as things usually do. Okay. So Vex, would you do me a die 10 divided by 2, please? We're going to figure out what floor you're on. Mostly the number for the condo number is mostly just to determine what floor you're on in case that becomes important. You know, if like ninjas invade the building or something. Because, you know, that's happened. Oh, they still can't? Ah. Okay, well. That's weird. Alright, would someone else do some talking for me?
Hello?
Of course.
Yeah. Well, it is at this point coming through, according to OBS, it's going through. So, I don't know.
Yes, I just heard the hello, hello, and everything else.
So we're actually, you're up and running now.
So, everybody's just, so I've been just me and video, because nobody else has got video running. And I've basically been talking to myself since we started streaming. Great.
A little bit, just only a half hour. It's okay.
You know, it's what it is.
It's not the end of the world.
Not the end of the world.
Well, you know, I gave the wife the link to listen to, and as soon as she hit me up, I let you know.
I appreciate that. I do appreciate that. All right.
Well, at least we can all hear each other.
There you go.
So,
Yes.
Oh, that's true. That's something.
Perfect. So how is?
How do I do this?
Oh, here.
Don't seem to be doing it right.
So you do. That's what you type.
Got it. Okay.
Excuse me. Sorry about that.
Okay.
The
so,
dot or the apostrophe
right.
just means it won't act for
Right.
us. Just remove that one.
We were doing the extra characters so that you could see what to type.
Got it.
We should have been more specific there, I suppose.
I don't think it helped that we both use different dump characters.
This is true.
Click and drag to roll the dice.
You should just be able to type just, there you go, just the slash.
There we go. All right.
Yeah, inside. Okay, so you got a 5. Well, you can't have 5 because the top floor is actually the penthouse, which is secured and nobody knows who lives there and stuff. So you get to have a 4th floor place.
Cool.
And Stringer, what was the number we were using per bedroom? Was it 5?
Well, I'm in 4A.
You're in 4A, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna actually mark that down. So, and this is gonna be Vex. So Vex, you are in 4B, and Stringer, what was the cost? The fees per month, or was it 500 per?
It was 500 per bedroom.
For 500 bedroom, that's what I thought we'd used. Okay, so how many bedroom place, Vex, would you like this to be?
1, please.
Okay, and actually, I'm going to say it is actually. I understand you want a 1 because of the cost, right?
Right, but I mean,
Okay.
I understand if it's going to be for the Nomad group.
It's
it would
for the
probably be
pack.
More, right?
Yep. So it's actually a
So-
4 bedroom,
Okay, four bedroom.
but you only have to cover the 500 of it. The pack will take care of the rest. As long as you're staying there, you just cover that piece of it that you're using.
Okay.
The pack will take care of the rest.
I take it
And-
we know this apartment is somewhere where different people turn up and go, and
Yeah, but periodically there's different people that will go in and out. There, depending on you, Stringer, being who you are and who you've already played, would probably notice more than most that yes, periodically that apartment. Well, and you know about the pack now since you helped get him access to it. But so periodically there will be a group come in, might stay for a few days or a week or something, and then it might be empty for a month. But since Stringer's disappearance, and I was going to one more thing on that I wanted to check.
yeah, Stitcher was one of my contacts from
Stitcher's
Life Events.
disappearance. Pardon me, Stitcher's disappearance. Right.
Yeah.
Now you will notice in your place in that apartment there, Vex, or condo. I keep calling it apartment. It's technically a condo, not an apartment. But anyway, one of the bedrooms it has more of a hospital type bed in it and some medical gear.
Okay, that's Stitchers, I'm assuming.
That's all. That because this was Stitcher's place, he actually had some stuff set up. And technically, you're not supposed to bring work home with you, but there's some stuff set up in there. So, not that does you much good per se, but there's some stuff in there. And Marcellus, you've got your spot out against the wall. And okay, so so Pac-Man, you wanted to go see Bullet. Now, we will be doing some more group stuff here in a minute. We'll get everybody together here in a few minutes, but I know you wanted to go talk to Bullet for a minute. So, let me find, just so everybody knows who we're talking about here. There's Bullet. And you would know, considering because he is the friend of your brothers and stuff. He is in his condo is 3C, and he's retired from the site of his last post on the force was a Psycho Squad. and your brother did mention that if there's some loud disco coming from the place, that might not be a time to knock on the door.
Okay.
Because he sometimes, and actually, a number of the residents will know that periodically there's very loud disco music playing in his condo, and they just kind of leave him alone though.
That's the me decompressing time.
That's
enough.
just his time, his thing, and when that's happening, it is best to leave him alone. Now, yes, you probably would have also heard the story. There was if you didn't already, there was 3 gangs coming up the streets and had a bit of a brawl in the streets, and he brought out what the heck is that thing called? A point defense system in a big Halliburton type case, automated system.
The trash can. He threw R2D2 into an alley to break up a street brawl.
Well, he didn't exactly break it up, but he let it run for some time with less than lethal rounds. And he had some. He just had some.
Rounds.
He just the rubber type, leaves bruises, but unless you're standing on top of it, isn't likely to cause permanent damage. Kind of a mini gun that self aims. Yeah, he took that out on the street and let it run for a while and had some fun.
Yeah, it went out live on one of the smaller channels.
Well, that's impressive.
There you go.
That thing's like 50 pounds. I am impressed.
Yeah. Well, okay, I got his sheet up. So, okay, so you're gonna go knock on his door?
Yeah, make sure it's an
Or something.
appropriate time. Now that I know what an inappropriate time is.
Yes, that's what I thought you should know about that. And as it happens, there is not music. You don't hear anything from the door, any loud music coming out or anything. So, and these doors, and I'll mention too for everybody that lives inside, the doors all do have electronic locks. They all have keypads and stuff on the outside and camera. And on the inside, to the left of the door, there is a keypad and a small screen that would show the video on the of whoever's knocking on your door, ringing your bell, or whatever. But like everything else, they don't always work perfectly. So sometimes they work great, sometimes they don't. But yeah, there's that. So you're gonna go knock on the door or ring the bell or whatever, right?
Yep.
So I would want to get a physical lock added as well on the door.
We hadn't talked about you can have like a deadbolt kind of thing or chain or something. Is that what you're thinking of, or a bar, or what are you thinking of?
I was thinking of having something like a deadbolt and for extreme measures.
Well, if you want to go kind of extreme, you can get a deadbolt and have it installed and stuff for $100. For if you want to spend $250 on it, you can get one of those a bar that goes in place, and as this bar locks in place, it actually puts pins on either side of the door frame.
Yeah.
If you want to do that, and either way, just spend it and put it in your notes that's your door.
Yeah, it's basically for when I'm in.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because it's not automatic. It won't lock behind you or anything. That's something you have to do manually. Okay, so Pac-Man, you are knocking on the door on what was it? 3C, 3 Charlie.
On 3C, got my Stetson and my jacket on.
So as you're standing there for a minute or two, the panel on your side kind of starts to lights up and flickers and goes out. And he just opens the door. And this is a pretty tall guy, kind of thin. You can see the picture there. So you get an idea of what he's wearing. He is wearing a hooligan, a Brixton hooligan, Brixton being a brand name, but the hooligan type cap.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have it on right. He has a brown leather duster that's just inside the door there on a hook. And Western boots is what he's wearing. And
Okay, so he and I have very similar boots then.
Actually, yes. And he has... make sure I'm telling you right here, as I recall. Yeah, he actually has two very similar... It's, like we said, kind of similar choices here, which kind of makes you wonder sometimes, cops and stuff maybe. But he has a pair under shoulder holsters under each arm. He has a pair of Smith & Wesson 44 mags, 8-inch barrels.
Very nice, very nice.
Long barrels. And
mine are on my hips, but they're 454s.
And he is a body 12.
Very nice. So he is stacked like a brick.
He is
house.
Yeah, so he opens the door. And
I tip my hat, Mr. Bullet,
looks
or
at you.
Lieutenant, however you prefer, sir. Thank you very much for setting me up, and I hold out my hand for him. I just wanted to come by personally and show my gratitude, ask if there's anything I could do for you in appreciation.
He says, "Bullet'll do," and he shakes your hand and offers to kind of gestures if you want to come in for a minute.
Sure, I appreciate it. Thank you. Don't want to leave your door open too long.
No, yeah. As soon as you're inside, he closes it, and he has when he closes the door, as the door closes, it actually, the inside of the door looks like the inside of a safe or vault door. In that, when the door latches, there's several pins on each side, across the top and the bottom, and you can see the whole mechanism like just every other door in the place. But from the inside, it's a little bit stronger than that. But yeah, and his where the other condos
throwing APFSDS through the wall, they're not going straight into him. Can completely understand.
Could be. It could be. You never know. And there's that.
As the ex-military lieutenant, current cop brain went, that's what I would do if I had the ability and the money and enough time to keep safer in the neighborhood next to the combat zone. I would do a very similar thing. So I nod as I enter. I like the door. I like it a lot. It's good choices.
Yeah, it's worked so far. Much stronger than the old door. And he walks. You'll know his whole place is 70s. From the shag to the one wall is a pink shag wall carpet, and there's a disco ball hanging from the middle of the living room.
Okay, so is he posered up to look like actual Frank Bullet with cosmetics?
To look like it? Yes, he looks almost exactly like the picture, except more bulky for the body type.
He's been sculpted, or is it just natural?
He doesn't. It depends on. I guess it would depend on your knowledge of Bullet.
Roll an awareness notice and see if I can.
If that's what you want to do, I was going to say if you want to know, if that's what you're trying to determine, then yeah, it would be a roll, as opposed to just giving you a description of him.
Yeah, I'd love to see if I can tell. And then I'll give the human perception as well, so I can see if his mannerisms is affected an affectation, or if it's actually just something he's kind of walked into over the years.
Okay. Well, as far as awareness goes, you would say that he has not had sculpting done, but if you would have knowledge of who the actor or who the character was, he does look a hell of a lot like him. But it doesn't look like he's had surgery, per se. Human perception. He's not the most personable. He's being very polite and everything. But you're going to guess he's probably had some cyberware work done that may or may not be doing real well. Agreeing with him completely.
Mm-hmm.
And
So he's a little low
you
on
know,
the empathy scale.
a little bit not terrible, but yeah,
Enough to make
I was
him
just looking
short
down his
where
list
normal people
here.
would overlook a slight or
I was trying to
too
look.
long.
Sorry, he does have some chip sockets on the back of his neck on one side. You would notice that stuff. I was just looking down his list here right quick if there's anything else that's real obvious. Now I will say your roll is good enough. His nostrils have that slightly odd shape, that you would know is for replaceable filters.
All right.
He has the filter option. Looking down the list here. Most of what he has is not obvious.
Okay. Well, then for the first thing I'll ask him, after we get some pleasantries out of the way, is I'll tap the side of my nose and ask him, is the air that bad around here that I'm going to need a set of those, or is it just from line of duty?
Most days it's not too bad in Night City, but some days, that's up
Fair
to
enough.
you.
Fair enough.
Now, as he's walking, he'll walk you over to the couch. As he does seem to be moving very quickly. When he takes steps, he's probably moving. His stride or whatever is probably at least twice or three times what you would expect most people to take that 10 feet or 15 feet to get from the door to a couch. He covers it before you've barely taken 2 steps from the door.
All right, and he's probably much smoother on his gait than I am because of he's got legs. I'm assuming.
Just because I thought it was a fun build, I kind of went over the top with this guy. Yeah, he has speeding bullet legs, and he has a normal without any kicking in the overdrive of 14 reflexes.
Okay.
So
very nice, very nice.
Yeah, he has a lot of cyberware. It was let's see how far can I push it and not have him go over the edge.
Very cool.
So anyway, yeah. So he'll sit you down unless and I don't know if there's something specific you want to role play out, but he'll sit down. He'll offer you a drink. It's like I don't remember where we are in game. It's been 3 weeks. I'm going to say it's like mid-morning. But he'll offer you a drink, he'll offer you stuff, and he'll sit down and have a conversation with you. Is there something in particular you want to make sure we cover or role play out or anything?
Just wanted to bring up my thanks, bring up that my brother was the one who recommended I talk to him, who give him the name of my brother on the force,
Yep. Oh yeah. I know.
Throw everything out, let him know. Cody suggested I come see him, let him know that I respect, or I've heard of him from my brother, so I understand that he has left a huge impression on the force itself. Kind of let him know that I'm looking to join up now that I'm out, and just wanted to get the scoop on the neighborhood from what would be a knowledgeable sort of man.
Well, he'll cover some of the stuff we talked about earlier. It's just background. He'll go over some of that stuff as far as what's been going on. That the Juilliard building, Caddy Corner Way, blew up recently, and I don't know if I may have missed it if Stringer covered it earlier, but he will go over with you the console. The was a console of 6. Now it is 2 fixers that were kind of trying to running this whole area as far as trying to bring it back to life and actually getting a businesses and so on going from the local gangs. That he knows the police have the local precinct has pretty much left it alone. It's just it's too hot and they don't have enough time and they don't get paid well enough to investigate something like that, unless somebody sponsored was to come in and sponsor an investigation. It's probably not going to get checked out anymore, as far as the police department goes. He will offer if based on your brother's reputation of the force, if you want or need assistance getting any license, if you wanted to actually try out for the force here, or if you wanted to apply, or if you wanted to go into PI work, get your PI license, which he'll say, and he says, if you're not going to be a cop, you're going to want to get your PI license, even if you don't like hang a shingle out on a door. You want your license, because that license opens up some of the other heavier weaponry and otherwise illegal ammunition, things like that. So
Yeah, it sounds like
stuff.
PI license is an excellent idea to pick up, because it's a big city. I don't know how long the wait time is to get on the force, and moving from MLE to over here is going to be another step. And so
he actually opens a drawer right next to him there and pulls out a card. He said, I thought you might want to do that. And he hands you a card for a sergeant at the South Charter Hill South precinct. Tell Ricketts that I sent you, and he'll help you get set up on the application process and stuff. I told him you were coming, but yeah, he should be able to help you with that stuff. And if you're as good as your brother, or better, I don't know. We'll see. You're looking, and actually, as you're talking, a teletype looking machine, kind of a big old printer. I don't know if anybody on here remembers what a teletype or would know what a teletype is.
I've seen a TTY machine on a ship. Yep, you're talking to probably the only guy in the room who
probably does. Yes. But basically, a big old style printer, dot matrix style, big loud printer with a screen and a keyboard on one side. In this case,
ding.
Yep. It starts going off in the corner. He glances over and glances back, and it's not hard to tell from here. It's a wanted, and there's constantly somebody new that needs to be returned to custody. So, if you're interested in that kind of work, there's lots of it. And
excellent.
But
the
yeah,
first computer I ever used was a PDP-11, and this was at a local technical college. And some of the terminals were VDU, some were teletypes. And editing programs when you're using a teletype, that is a skill that probably few people have these days.
Yeah, I actually my dad worked in an office that actually had a Associated Press teletype machine, and it was kind of neat. It was neat. The technology was already on its way out at that point, but still, it was a neat system. But that's what he had. That's basically that. Which, being a cop, you would know. It's a very standard machine that cops would have in their precincts. If they have a other than at the precinct office, they have another office off-site. That building or that office would have at least one of these machines, and whatever it's subscribed to, if it might be all updates or APP other bulletins. In this case, it looks like it's set up as subscribed to get bag and tag, bail jumpers, that kind of thing.
Warrants, bounties.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was looking for. Yes, that kind of thing. The screen the thing prints out. The screen says warrant for and gives their name, some basic information, a dollar amount. This one says 3,000 EB.
Okay.
And it kind of, as it finishes printing out, it cuts it and falls into a tray. There's several sheets of these in that tray. But if anything else particular you want to cover with Mr. Bullet here, because he'll talk. He will as far as cop stuff. He will just keep talking about what's been going on in the neighborhood and pretty much the stuff we've already said.
Yeah, I don't want to monopolize too much time here. So yeah, I'll just shoot the shit with Bullet over stuff.
Okay. So you're talking with him for a bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Last thing from him I want to know is if there's anybody else in the building I need to talk to about these happenings that he was talking about earlier, the explosions, the fixers, if there's anybody who might have another finger in the pie or toe in the pudding.
He'll tell you about Stringer.
Okay.
And he'll mention if you're ever doing anything in the building that's not something that should be done or even slightly against the rules, you really got to watch out for him. He just seems to have a knack for recording things that are going on. He says, I don't know how he does it, but he always seems to be looking out the window at the right time or walking down the hallway at the right time to catch somebody doing something they're not supposed to. So, yeah, but Stringer's the one to talk to. He's a reporter. He's done he's done right by the force for the most part. As long as they weren't doing with their job, anyway. Yeah. And he says, "Okay, I got somewhere else I got to be. So, good to meet you.
Good to meet you too.
Good luck in Night City."
Go look this. Yeah.
I'll
go look this Stringer fella up.
He's at the door, unlocking it and opening it for you already. As far as the empathy and stuff goes, he's not bad, but it's definitely when it's time to leave, it's just time to leave.
Yeah.
So, okay, so you're heading out.
He's not a gregarious, 89 humanity like myself.
No. Well, it takes a special kind of person to really to make his week or month was letting off a few thousand rounds into a crowd of, gangers.
Very nice.
So, yeah. Which I will say, you did see like a Halliburton, a big, about 4 or 5 foot tall, by 25, 30 inches on a side box sitting off in one corner.
Okay, so it's not the same. It's not the same trash can from the Chrome books.
It's not literally a trash can. It's not literally an R2D2. If you were to check into, if you could pull up the news feed if you were interested. Mm-hmm. It is a very similar or even the same system, but it's been put in a portable case with wheels on it and stuff.
Okay, so it's like if an LRAD and that thing had a baby.
You could just, a big oversized hard case that you could just walk around, kind of like an airport suitcase thing. You can pull it, if you've got the strength for it.
That's what they keep the LRADs.
That's what that is. Okay.
Box cases, hard cases with wheels on the bottom, and then you set them up on their little 4-poster lock the casters, and it goes to work.
Yep, pretty much. So, yep, that was in there, and it was very kind of just laying there on the side. Something you would think that you'd either lock up or at least hide away, something like that. But it was just laying against the wall on one side of the room. Didn't seem to care.
Yeah, I'm almost suspecting there might be a wireless link going on with this guy somewhere. The way that printer turned right on, the way everything was ready, it's sitting right in the room. It's one of those suspicions that goes through the cop head. It's like, well, that'd explain why he'd leave it out there, or he's just not worried because he keeps it loaded with less than lethal and it's not going to stop him. One of the two.
Could be. Yep. Okay. You're coming out of there. Marcellus, let's see, are you at your tent, at your place? This is going to be mid-morning, or do you have something in-game you want to go do before I start getting everybody together? Because we haven't gotten everybody together yet. But I'm going down the list. I want to make sure there's something you want to do.
I'm quite happy at this point to be at my tent at the
Okay.
squat and allow it to bring everyone together, and then we can.
Cool. Okay, and before I get everybody together, start doing something. Stringer, did you have something you wanted to do?
Yeah, I did want to check on the bus.
Just check into it. Okay.
Yeah.
You're just gonna give her a
Coy
call.
was improving the. I'll walk round. Coy was improving the engine and the electrics and the general mechanics. In case we have to go on the lamb.
At this point, it is when you go over there, and again, and just for brevity to get back to everybody here, get everybody together. If there's something you want to specifically do, that we'll do that. Otherwise, you go over there. It is the whole front cowl from like the windshield forward is all completely disassembled. The axle's up on stands. The whole vehicle is actually on stands. All the wheels are off. The engine's still all, she was tearing. I think when you dropped it off, she was digging into tearing it apart. The engine's still all torn apart. There's actually where when she tore it apart, it was filthy. Everything is clean. All the components are clean and shiny. The frame has been cleaned, but it's all torn apart and scattered at this point.
Yeah, basically what I was, doing was I was planning on getting other stuff, and it would be depending on what money was left as to what I do with the van. So basically, now I'm going round and I've got some money. I want to add. She's basically going to improve. The basics that are in there. Put some lightweight armor like Kevlar in the walls.
She'll do however of that you want to do, and basically she says, give me a budget, and I'll do the best I can for the budget.
Yeah,
it's pretty much like when you first dropped it off. That was you came up with a number that was to do those basic all that mechanical stuff you talked about.
Yep.
And the same thing for this part of it. She goes, I'll do the best I can. Just tell me how much you want to spend on it. I'll do as much and best I can for that money.
I mean, internally, I want to keep it relatively the same.
Right, that's what we talked about last time.
Yeah, but put some Kevlar in, for basic safety. If the driver and passenger seat at the front can be, upgraded to more comfortable bucket seats than the old 70s stuff. And improve one of the things for sleeping. At the moment there's a house sofa in the back that's a pull-out bed.
That's it.
Still keep the sofa and pull-out bed, but actually get one of the ones that's specifically designed for going in an RV, rather than one that's just a household one that's been stuck in the back and probably bolted down to the floor.
You can do that. She says she'll build something for you. She'll actually build something that's made that will be designed to fit in an RV and make the best use of the space, give you some storage as well, and a much more comfortable bed. But when it's all folded up, it'll look just like the original couch, just like the old couch, but maybe clean. She says, but maybe cleaner.
Yeah, I'm looking at maybe 3,000 for the armor. See what can be done with that, and throw in another 1,500 for the seats and the fold-up bed, and what needs to be done for that. Or basically, spread the lot between the armor and the improved seating, and then maybe later on I'll improve the sink area. I mean, the kitchen area, because at the moment it's just an electric hot plate.
She says she should be able to do quite a bit for you for that. She'll get it fixed up. It'll be nice, and but keep the original feel. And she should have it all back together within a week or two.
Yep.
It should be all set within that time.
Oh yeah, we're probably going to need a better generator in here. When we're out of town, we will need power.
She says I'll see what I can find for you, and if I can't fit it in the budget you already gave me, I'll let you know.
Yeah, if it doesn't fit in that budget, let me know. I can cover it if it's not too much, but basically, when I get some more money come in, I'll come back to get something else done.
Okay. She says, sounds good.
It basically comes down to I'm not rolling in it, but I'm not broke.
Sounds good.
So I've just shelled out for the gun. So
while you're talking, she starts rolling up a cigarette.
Yep.
And as you are talking, that last few sentences, kind of like last time you were here, as she starts smoking, she starts just kind of getting focused on what she's doing, and she's working very oddly quickly. And periodically she'll come back over and she's listening. She is comprehending what you're saying, but she's working too. And there's no doubt, you don't know what it is, but that it's some kind of speed and maybe some kind of intelligence boosting something or other too.
Yeah,
but whatever it is, it's good stuff apparently. But she understands. She'll get it together. Should have within a week or two. She starts repeating things she's already says basically as she's working.
Yeah. Well, I'll leave you to it and drop in sometime in the next.
Yep.
And it's not days.
You would know from history. It's not anything personal. That's how she works. That's how she gets stuff done and ends up and again, you'll see that some of the other projects that were here when you dropped the bus off, some of them are gone, and some of them are almost done or are look like they might as well appear to be done as far as you can tell. And there's actually only about half as many projects in here as there were when you dropped the bus off.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how she works.
Basically, with everything. I'm improving things, but I still want to go for the piece of crap bus motif.
Oh, yeah. Don't want to make it look like something that somebody'd want to steal. Got it.
Yeah.
Yep, I understand. No. And she'll, as long as if you want to stay and talk, she'll talk, but she is working hard at it. If you're, I don't know if there's something else you want to cover.
Once she's done that, time for socializing is over.
Yeah, it's not, and don't take it. Not to take it personally. It's just, what she does. Okay. So, I think we've talked to. Okay, so everybody's had their pre-stuff. So, at the kind of, and just to abbreviate this, so we can actually try to do something other than just the intro stuff here. Let's see. Sorry about that here. Let me give me just a second, guys. Sure I don't do something. Okay. All right. right, Marcellus, you are going to get a quick call, actually a text. You're going to get a text from Jeremy, which is in your history. They're a cop. They're a friend, or actually they're a relative, an uncle,
Okay.
who is a cop, who is going to let you know that there is well, we're going to call him a fugitive, he says. Sort of. Something we really would like to have some people help recover quickly. But the force has decided, the captain here has decided to not send officers directly after this guy. They don't want it to be police that bring him back in or take care of him, he says. And Jeremy knows that there's going to be some other calls going out. And since Jeremy knew you were staying over by Takatomi, whatever it is. I'm sorry. The guy that name was based on another character who stopped showing up, and I decided not to change the name of the building. But anyway.
Yep.
Takatomi. Not to be confused with Nakatomi, from Die Hard. But anyway, so Uncle Jeremy tells you, or says in the text, that there is a fugitive. Captain has decided he doesn't want officers going after him. That they are calling in favors to put together some people to go after him. And would you be interested in this job? That's his text.
Sure.
Okay. He says, stand by for meeting location and time.
No problem.
Okay.
What's it paying?
He says 1,000 eddies if you bring him in alive. 1,000 eddies if you bring in proof that he is no longer alive. And that last second part is on the screen long enough for you to read it, and then it goes away. It disappears from your chat history.
Fair enough. I'll wait for the call.
Okay. And Pac-Man, as you are leaving Bullet's place, he stops you, kind of puts his hand back here where the chip sockets are. He kind of puts his hand there for a second, and he says, "Hold on just a second." And as he says that, something starts printing out on the machine over there. And as soon as it's done, he tears it off and hands it to you. And it is a fugitive alert. The fugitive is a corp, suspected to have a team protecting him. There's not a lot of detail. He had been arrested. He was awaiting trial. The company he works for, MediaTek, had basically disavowed him. He caused some issues at a concert.
Okay, so effectively a burn notice on a corp guy.
Pretty much.
Was problems anyways.
And he was let go. And basically, it sounds like, I mean, it's a police summary thing. So it's basically that he was arrested. Some stuff happened at a concert. You'd have to see the full report. There's a line on there because he's a corp and he was an executive. So there's a line on there about what company he works for, and the company is not exercising their rights with the corporate council with the city council, etc., that kind of thing. And
Not exercising judicial privilege, so they're
Exactly.
putting it out there.
and then there's some information that he himself is not necessarily very extremely dangerous, but it is assumed that he will have people bodyguards with him wherever he is.
Okay.
And
I'll thank Bullet for
yeah,
it.
he's actually got a couple more things for you, and then there is $5,000 reward or bounty, bounty for the guy. And Bullet will tell you that it's not official, but a bunch of favors being called in at the precinct to put together some people. And so if you're interested, they're actually it looks like they're actually going to all meet down in the lobby of the building. He says his eyes kind of roll. He looks up, just kind of looks up for a second. He says,
Times Square scrolling.
you see him kind of sub-vocalizing a little bit. You can tell. You can see his throat move, but his lips aren't moving or anything, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then he touches the back of his neck again. And he goes, yeah, it's weird. Actually, you and they've got there's a solo that is staying just outside the building. And they want the media there. They want it recorded. They want the whole thing recorded because they're concerned that MediaTek might decide they don't like how this was handled. So,
Roger that. I'll swing by Stringer's on the way and knock on his door, make sure he's heard.
He says they're calling in a few favors, but everybody should be downstairs on this. And he says,
all right, thank you.
He says,
head down there.
If you, he waves. You got the sheet with the details. He's leaving. You got it.
I'll make sure.
And somewhere in your conversation earlier, you did get his contact information. If you wanted to call him for anything, you've got it. Okay.
Okay, sweet.
All right, so
I
there's
gotta
that.
make sure I stop by Stringer's to pick him up and make him aware if he isn't home.
Well, so you're gonna head toward Stringer's
apartment.
Vex, his condo, his apartment or condo. Vex, you also get a text from a fixer that you know, offering you a job driving for this thing. He doesn't really give you a lot of details. He said there'll be a vehicle outside, and they just basically need a driver for this team. You can participate however much you want. It pays $500 for a driver, $1,000 if you participate otherwise, for the however long the job takes. Interested? Are you interested?
I still ask what the car is.
It's actually a Ford Mercedes SUV, armored. Says it's got cyber and manual controls. It's actually the same model that some parts of the police force use, but it's not a police vehicle. But it's the exact same model.
He would know what those vehicles are. That makes sense.
What's up?
So,
I'm sorry, I'm having trouble hearing you.
Oh, you are? Can you hear me?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know if you can turn your volume up, maybe, or something.
I will try.
I don't know if it's just me.
Oh yeah, he's a little low. Just a touch.
All right, I'll look into it. But,
That's okay. That's all right. Yeah, go ahead. That's better, actually, right there, even. But go ahead.
So what I was thinking is, if I recognize those cars, because I have some experience with it. So I say, all right, and I guess I would get out of my apartment then, like a little condo area. But what I'm thinking is, do I live on the same floor as Stringer?
Do you know Stringer? Yeah, you do. Of course you do. Yeah. Sorry. Thinking of somebody else. Yes.
All right, so,
do you live on the same floor as Stringer? I don't I don't know which floor are you on.
Weren't you guys next door to
I
each
was
other?
I think you're
was on
next
the
door.
floor.
Yeah, you guys are. Yeah. I had to pull my notes. Yeah, you guys are right next door to each other.
All right, cool. So then the idea is that I would walk out of my condo and over to his to knock on it and just give him a heads up that I'm out.
Okay. So, Pac-Man is heading up from the 3rd floor. Oh, by the way, Pac-Man, you're gonna take the elevator or stairs? There's stairs. You're gonna take stairs. Okay. And cool.
I still got real legs. I better exercise them or they're gonna atrophy. Can't
That's it.
body 10 taking the elevator.
Good deal. So you're good. Nothing exciting happens on your way. You're going up to the 4th floor to catch Stringer. Vex going next door. Stringer, you get another one of those like the other day, or just maybe it was just a day or two in game. But you got that anonymous text that you got before that there was something going on at the club.
Yep.
You are getting another anonymous text that there is a job that needs a videographer to record the right parts of the job, is what the text says, and it pays 1,000. And if you're up for it, meet in the lobby of your building.
Right. Well, yeah, I'm always ready for something to happen. So, basically,
Oh yeah.
I've got my armor on under the back, the suit I wear that's just baggy. So basically, all I've got to do is, grab the weapon belt, shoulder holster. There's also got the other bits of kit on. Strap that on.
Right. Get ready. Well, as you're strapping that stuff on, your door rings. Actually, sorry. As you're doing that, the door will ring. And one mechanics thing, let me mention, Austin, real fast. We talked last time about the armor. I didn't realize that was the armor you had. I did go ahead and modify your sheet and give you put the modifier on there for wearing that armor for your reflexes.
Yep.
Okay. Just want to make sure you saw that and knew about it.
Yep.
Okay. Cool.
I carry the helmet in my bag with my other bits that I might need for the reporting.
Cool.
So if it's necessary, the helmet goes on and I'll actually hold the headset to film as best as I can.
Right.
But when there's a knock on the door, I'll just be finishing, putting the last bits of kit on, grab the trench coat and be ready to go.
Let's see. There is a knock, and your little monitor next to the door lights up. Screen comes on. It's in color, which it's been black and white. It's been monochrome. You actually assumed it was just a monochrome display, but it's actually in color this time. And it's showing Vex outside your door.
Well, if I recognize them, I'll open the door and let them in.
Yeah. Well, this is your nomad friend. Yeah. So yeah. Okay. So you guys can talk. And,
hey, how's it going?
Pac-Man, it doesn't take you long. You're going to be walking up to the door as Vex the nomad is standing just outside the door, and Stringer is just opening the door as you walk up.
Okay. Well, as he opens the door and I walk up, I'm gonna ask if he's the lens known as Stringer.
Yep, that's me.
I again tip my hat cordially to him. Bullet said to come get you for a job downstairs in the lobby.
Yep. Thanks. I'll be ready in less than a minute. Just gotta strap the last of the gear on.
No worries. I'll just post up here outside till you're ready.
Yep.
That's when I would basically be watching all this. And
you're right in front of me, man. So yeah.
So I'm kind of like caught in the middle here, it seems like, and being silent. So the idea is that he looks at Stringer and says, I was heading out, but it looks like you're in some deeper action.
Yep, I like to be prepared. And
Then
you might
basically-
see the monster under my left arm.
Yeah, all right. Then Vex would whistle, eye
Yeah.
that, and then just ask for a map of the city.
Yeah, paper or electronic.
Electronic, preferably. And then I think I would point to my interface plugs.
Yep, I've got
Yeah,
stuff
so-
like that, so I can
Oh,
just
Yeah,
transfer
if,
it.
if you want to let him plug into your terminal, he could grab it.
Yep.
Do I plug in? I'm just.
Yeah, it's just that
Use
you
them
you've just
away.
got regular interface. You got which ones do you have actually? You have
I think I have vehicle and weapon link.
oh okay. So you don't yeah, okay. Interface plugs are an item. Vehicle link is a separate thing, and weapon link is a separate thing. Unless interface plugs will do those other things though. So it depends on what you have.
So would I not be equipped to plug into his terminal, or would I just?
If you have, you said you have vehicle link and weapon link.
You got
Right, I
a
don't
Cyberpunk
So-
Times Square?
If you've got a term link, or you got regular full plugs, or LiveWire, something like that.
No, it doesn't
Yeah,
look
or if you
it,
had
but
like
it
yeah,
does
like
on my
I'm
sheet.
sorry, Ben. If
Then
like
you know
you were
what?
saying,
I'll go with that. Asking
if-
for paper map.
okay. If you had Times Square, you might have a cable from that you could plug in from an eye or
Gotcha.
goggles.
Oh right, I know I have the eye. I just didn't realize. Okay,
You have the eye. What options do you have on your eye? Real quick.
just the image enhancement.
Oh, okay. So, yeah. So,
Alright, then
So
you know
those
what?
things won't do
paper
that.
map it is.
okay.
Yeah. I'll grab a paper map for him, then throw on the trench coat, and I'm ready to go.
All right.
Okay.
and
So
then
you guys gonna head
my only
downstairs,
action-
or sorry, go ahead.
No, you're right. My action was going to be just following you guys down the stairs.
All right. When you get, let's see. So, actually, wow, everybody's together. Amazing. No. Okay. So everybody's going down to the lobby. Actually, when you get down to the lobby, Bullet is actually down there in the lobby, waiting for everybody, and he will just as everybody's coming. Actually, I need to ask: did you guys take stairs or elevator down?
I'll take the elevator.
And I'll take the elevator too.
Okay.
Well, I guess if they're taking the elevator, I'll just keep on my stairs motif. I'll tell them I'll
You
meet them
can
down there.
you take stairs. Okay.
I'll take the front door.
Actually, the front door. Sorry.
He's
You're on
coming
the
in from the out back.
Oh, that's right. You're coming in from
Right.
back, so you're gonna come around the front door. Gotcha. Right. The
I like it.
when
Nice
you
and cheap.
go, Pac-Man, when you go to where you open the door from the first floor to the stairs on that end, the door won't open.
All right. Well, I'll give it a little shoulder action. See if it'll go.
You want to do a strength?
Yeah,
Or is
yeah.
it,
I'm going to
strength
look
feat?
for it. Let's give it
If you have it.
a oof.
No.
I get to bounce off like a moron.
You do actually, yeah. You go to run up to it. You kind of you try to take that couple steps back from it and run into it, to give it a good shove, and you actually stumble and just kind of end up bouncing off of it, not really putting much pressure on the door other than your body weight. That doesn't seem to make any difference.
Yeah. So now's where the Moody comes into play, and just wind up and heel kick the living crap out of that door handle. So it's a 10 plus a 1. It's not in, yeah.
So you rolled it. Yeah. Did you roll?
The second strength feat for heel kicking the crap out, it's
Yeah.
a 21.
Right.
10 plus 10 plus 1.
Right. That's what I was looking at. So your strength feat is just a 1. Is that right? Or
No,
am
I have no
reading that wrong?
strength feat but body 10.
Oh, you don't have the skill. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I wasn't understanding.
No skill, but built like a brick.
But you're pretty
brick
up
house.
there. Yeah. This time the door, that it just has a handle and regular handle lock mechanism, not even a lock. You're not sure why it's not locked. There's no lock on these are fire stairs, but yeah, you kick it. It shatters the handle, the part of the door frame where the latch is for the handle. Yeah, the door's open.
I walk through.
You succeeded. You've done the frame around where the latch is, the door knob and handle, and the door itself around that area. It's obliterated.
Literally went from
it's
worst
not
possible outcome to most extreme possible.
well. You consider it's not. It's an interior fire door, but it's just a latch to keep the door from swinging open on its own. It's not armored. It's not anything else. It doesn't have any, security door or lock or anything. So when you give it a kick like that, that pretty much took care of it.
Put a size 14 steel tip cowboy boot through it practically.
So as the elevator doors close and you guys are heading downstairs, you hear a crash and a bang and some noises from down the end of the hallway where the stairwell is, and as the doors actually go clunk and the elevator starts to go down. And
I think I would look at Stringer, ask him who exactly the guy he was talking to was. The top looking.
You guys can have a few sentences, but it doesn't take long. 20 or 30 seconds, not even 30 seconds later, the doors open on the lobby floor. But yeah, you have. But Stringer, you do have plenty of time to answer them and stuff if you want while you're riding down.
Yeah,
I guess my question would just be, who's the cop?
The full outfit is the Stetson, a leather duster, very good quality blue jeans, a button-up shirt, wearing a vest and a tie.
All right, then I think my question would be, who's the Texas Ranger?
Austin, you're hearing that?
Yep.
I know. Make sure you heard him, or if he dropped off.
Yeah. Is John Henry the character name?
Oh, sorry. My character name is Vex. Here, I'll change it around on there.
Yep.
That'll make things easier. Oh yeah, so that was my question for Stringer.
Austin, did you catch that? He was asking you who that guy was. Okay, just sorry if I'm don't mean to rush you. Just to make sure you're hearing him.
Yes. So it is Vex the solo who is living in the tent.
No, sorry. Vex is the nomad living next to you.
Ah, right.
And he's your from your pack. That's your friends, your contacts.
Yep. So when the other guy asked me who is this, I'll tell him, this is Vex. Passing through, maybe staying.
No, Vex asked you who the guy was that told you Bullet wanted you downstairs.
Oh.
He was asking you who Pac-Man was.
Right. That's Pac-Man. He's only just moved in. Don't know much about him. Used to be a cop. I think he's going freelance now.
All right, and then Vector just nod. I figured our time's up.
Marcellus says, so you got that message of where to meet and stuff too, and you said you're going to go and use the front door. Is the back door, just for everybody's knowledge? I don't think I mentioned it. There is at the back. There is a big garage door with an automatic door that opens and closes when somebody's coming in or out, and there is a fire exit door as well from the stairwell on that end of the building at the back. And you can, if you go in the fire exit door, you can get into the parking garage, or of course up the stairs and so on. So anyway, but you said you're going to go in the front door.
Yes.
Make sure I
go around and use the front door because don't want to upset people.
No problem.
By breaking into their lovely condo that I actually want to move to at some point.
So, one more thing, if we can get them real quick, because I should have asked for these before, but since now we're finally all going to be together here, would everyone do a wardrobe and style and personal grooming check for me? Just so we all have, so everybody has an idea of what kind of level, so to speak, the people they're about to work with are at.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
If
7,
anybody has a
7.
natural 10 or a natural 1, if you call that out for me. And any roll, I should mention on any roll, if you have a natural 1 or a natural 10 on your roll, make sure you call that out.
22 on grooming and 13 on wardrobe and style.
Natural 10 on grooming and 17 off bonuses for wardrobe style.
I guess I picked the wrong trench coat.
12 on grooming, 9 on wardrobe and style.
Okay, well it fits. That it works considering. Okay, so Stringer,
Sorry.
you picked up. Oh, how do you do rolls? If you go into your character sheet, which I'm going to pull it up here so I make sure I'm telling you exactly the right place to go. But go to your character sheet to skills, locate each skill, and just click on the name of the skill, and it'll roll it for you. Which those are...
and when it says modifier, if you have clothing that gives you a bonus.
If you have clothing or cyberware or something, they would give you a bonus. Right, exactly. You want to add that in. Otherwise, there's no other modifier. It's on the top right, if you didn't see them already, of the skills list.
Yeah. Okay.
Pac-Man looking like a snack, even with that yellow skin.
You're doing it right. You know the song says your hair is perfect, right? Not just your hair. No, you're doing good. Looking good. Stringer, it looks like you grabbed that same coat that you've been wearing for the last week out on jobs. It hasn't been gone to the cleaners or been cleaned. It's got some splatter on it of various kinds. It's the same coat you wore when the Juilliards exploded and you were doing some filming around there. So it's pretty dusty. You know. You haven't taken any damage, any bullets or anything, have you, Stringer? Since we've been playing.
I've taken a few bullets, but none have gone through the armor.
Okay, so that jacket you grabbed has some bullet holes in it.
Yep.
So your clothing is looking a bit worse for the wear. That's what that is.
On armor. That's the one thing I didn't. We doing the staged differentials or just straight up?
Yeah, I'm not going to worry about doing all the extra math. I'd rather you guys were able to, or felt comfortable changing armor and styles, clothing and stuff more often when you feel like it, and not have to worry about the extra math. Be reasonable about what you're wearing as far as stacking goes. We are doing the EV.
Yep,
for
I've got
the
my
layers.
one EV because I've got the jacket on top of the skin weave.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, we are going to do that for the layers, but the rest of it, doing the proportional stuff, I'm not going to worry about.
It's not proportional, so just straight additive.
But the layering, the maximum layers, I think of whatever it's called. I was thinking about it, and I may dig into it here this week. Even we'll see if I have time of learning to do my own sheet here for Roll20 that might actually take into account that stuff.
Okay.
That would be cool, I think. But anyway, of course, you've been watching the videos, you know that already. But anyway.
Yeah, but it's nice to throw that call out there, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Just depends on time. But so it doesn't look like nobody had a fumble. That's good. But and the only person
honestly,
that's
I don't know. I'm just trying to do this.
actually no, that's on the story. That was on the strength feat. Did you get your rolls in?
No, I'm on the character sheet. I'm just.
You're still okay. So you're still not. Go ahead.
No, I
It
was
makes
just gonna ask
easier
if
if you hit the checkbox for skill setup, it makes the buttons way bigger, so it's easier.
Right, I have skills. I'm looking at personal grooming.
Mm-hmm.
I click on it, and for the modifier, I put in what?
Nothing. You don't. For this particular, in this case, well, I say that. Let me correct myself. Unless the clothing you bought said it had a bonus for wardrobe and style, or something.
Oh no.
Okay. So if you didn't buy something or have a piece of cyberware, that's another thing. There's cyberware out there that will affect your rolls. But if you don't have one of those, then you're just no modifier.
Right, I didn't add those. So then how do I just roll these personal skills? Like
Click it,
just
then
click on
modifier 0, and then just go.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh,
That's
okay,
it.
okay.
When you
And
hit
say
OK on
submit.
go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say just say submit once you do all your modifiers thrown in for your cyberware, your little nanites that do your hair for you or your clothing, any of that. Then just submit means go on the skill rolls.
Okay, that makes sense. I just didn't want to submit anything without knowing what I was doing.
Oh no.
Got
Yeah,
it.
you're good. Yeah, the
It's
modifier
not
is
a permanent commit change. It's just just means roll the dice.
for this roll. Yeah.
Got it.
Well, I saw the dice roll, but I don't see the rolls coming up.
Oh, really? It came up as 12 for personal grooming.
Yep. Okay, I do have personal. Okay, yep. They just came up. It was just slow to update. Yeah, and you do your wardrobe and style.
I put in wardrobe. I don't know why it's not.
So you click it, and then you do have to make sure that modifier box. It'll sometimes come up right behind something.
Got it. Okay,
That kind of
it
stuff
came up
on you.
behind it. That's what it was.
That'll mess with you.
And 14 for wardrobe.
Okay. So everybody is. See, nobody had a critical failure, so nobody's like standing out in that they're wearing totally inappropriate stuff or clothing, or just look like you walked in from the street. Even the solo that walked in from the street doesn't necessarily they just look like they just walked in from the street. Pac-Man is hairstyle and his grooming and stuff is of that level that the other characters find yourself staring at him just a couple seconds too long.
Quite the cowboy. Got it.
So there's that. And the only other thing of note from these rolls we're going right now is Stringer is it's obvious he is a working field straight level reporter. He looks it. He definitely looks the part. And actually, since there's some bullet holes and some if let me see, I'm going to say cop and cell. Probably nomad wouldn't be appropriate, but if um, right. If Pac-Man and Marcellus, if you want to do, if you're interested in doing an awareness notice, looking at the compatriots you're about to work with here, if you want to do an awareness notice, and if there's anything anybody wants to do, this is as far as trying to determine what somebody's carrying, or more precisely what kind of armor they have, that kind of stuff, this would be the time to roll an awareness.
I'm not aware of bull crap. Apparently, I can roll either a natural 10 or a natural 1.
You're one or the other, apparently. Yep.
Apparently, I'm high-low today.
Yep. You're. Okay, so Solo, Marcellus, you notice through some of the holes and the little bit of damage to Stringer's clothes, you will notice he is wearing some heavy-duty armor under his clothes. His clothes are really baggy, and it's just a style to wear really baggy, loose-fitting clothes. It's not surprising in his job, but you can kind of tell he's wearing some heavy-duty armor under those clothes. You also, not only from actually catching glimpses through the couple of bullet holes in the clothing, but also from the way he's moving. His movement is just slightly not right, which also gives you that impression he's wearing something.
Yeah. He doesn't flow properly, and you're like, shit, that's...
There's just a little bit of hesitation and movement and stuff, yeah. Let's see, Stringer, of course, you did awareness. You always do. Is there, let's see, with a 20... Everybody's done their basic description of characters, what they're wearing, and all that stuff. Pac-Man, you mentioned your skin weave. That's going to be the yellow skin weave kind of stands out.
It's got a 10 awareness notice to tell I've got it. So
right.
It's definitely
that's going to stand out.
Supposed to be noticeable in the description.
Right, is kind of the point. Yeah. I don't think, does anybody have, and I'll mention, is anybody wearing any concealed weapons or that kind of thing? Anything they're trying to hide?
Not hide. I mean, I'm open carrying the two.
Yeah, yours are obvious.
2 revolvers on the
right.
Carry on.
Mine are under the jacket, under the trench coat.
Right.
But it's not as if I've got a coat that's custom tailored to to help hide the pistol. It's just the stern mayor is on the belt for quick draw, and the other one is under the arm, shoulder holster that will come out if necessary.
The other monster, right?
Yep.
Okay, so we got all that.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a pistol on the belt for quick draw, and then in the back, as it were, underneath the jacket, down at the back, I've actually got a set of nunchucks that can be pulled out from underneath the coat, underneath the jacket.
So with the couple of people, obviously, Pac-Man, you are just so preoccupied with your own appearance. There's a mirror. See, there's a couple of mirrors, aesthetic, just decorative mirrors in the lobby, and you are so impressed with how well you did with your own appearance. You're not noticing anything about these other people hardly.
Fair enough. I had a moment with myself. Apparently,
that's it. There you go.
I've just put a couple of pictures up on Discord. The top one is the usual result of getting ready, and the bottom picture is what I'm aiming for.
but it would be much more
With a
looser
bullet
fit. And
holes.
but in this case, right, you've got the bullet holes, you got dirt, dust, and some blood splatter, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna
stuff.
try to tear myself away from the mirrors for a
But-
second. And even though I'm not paying attention to what everybody's got on them, I'm gonna see if I can tell that everybody's at least confident in their ability to do what we're all here to do. So apparently not. Apparently not. Apparently I'm the worst cop in the world with natural ones constantly.
Oh wow. That's why we use dice, because yeah.
It's hilarious.
So yeah, you're not sure about this group. Actually, before I say that, let's do a, because I like to keep these things random, and yeah, you're really not sure about this group.
Right.
That's your perception.
Okay.
You're just not sure this group's going to be able to do this job.
Fair enough. So if things start getting a little grim, cut and run is definitely on the table here.
In the cards.
If I don't think everybody can hold their own.
Okay. Yeah. So everybody's together. All this has just been the initial looking at each other up and down and stuff. No one has really spoken, I don't think, to each other yet. We said Bullet was out here. Bullet is now wearing his. Flip back over here so I make sure I give the appropriate description. Dang it. Okay. Yes, I need I do not have. Apparently, I don't have I don't have enough. My two screens here is not enough. I need a third or a fourth apparently because I can't keep everything open. But anyway.
Fine. Just get that Cyber Suite Decker chair so you can.
That's it. Why am I not? Oh, it's over here. Yeah, he's got the hooligan hat. He actually has a rough, that rough raw looking leather brown duster, and I had all the way high collared, all the way to the floor, just barely, just far enough above the floor that it doesn't drag. And he's wearing brown with kind of a jade green diamond pattern boots. And so he's standing there, and he kind of nods to this group, and he says, "Has everybody met?"
Yep, cool.
Don't know this one, and
Not
Pac-Man
yet,
points
just
to Marsalis.
Okay, so Marcellus, Pac-Man, Marcellus. Anybody else?
I don't know any of this lot.
He said.
No.
Okay. And he says, "Okay, well, I'm pretty much going in and going on this ride as a ride along observer, just in case. And let's see what happens. We got the car out front. That's a loner. He looks over at Vixen. Don't wreck it. You should have codes already for access. Vex.
Yep, I have the access codes, and I get in the car to link in.
He'll start to lead, and Bullet will start to lead everybody outside. All right, so we got a location. He's down in combat zone. It's a building down there. We've got a location. We've got very little more detail than that. We don't know how many guys are with him. We suspect he's hired some bodyguards. And
Looks like I got some people at the door. I'll be back real quick.
Okay. He will look over at Stringer and he says, "Stringer, nothing live, okay? Nothing goes out live. Record everything you want to record. but nothing live, and the captain has requested that you edit the video before it gets released, depending on how the job goes down.
Will do.
And is pretty much from here on, I'm just riding along and observing. You guys are going to do whatever you do and handle it. I'll be back here watching. And from that point on, he really doesn't say much. He's going to, when you guys do go to get in the car, he's going to sit in the very back. And he is carrying, I mentioned earlier, he's got the pair of Smith & Wesson 44 mags, real long barrels, in the shoulder holsters. He also has a street sweeper on a sling on his back, a full automatic shotgun with a big barrel with a drum magazine on it. And he will head out, and once Vex gets the car open, he'll get in the back.
Sounds good.
And he waits. He
I'll climb in too. Just comment. I haven't seen a street sweeper like that since I was in the bush.
It's got the pretty large magazine on it, and it if you're paying, well, you weren't paying attention earlier, but if you're watching as he gets in the car, you'll notice he actually doesn't have another one that big, but he does have two other oversized magazines for it in the jacket, kind of available on the inside of the coat, which looks a little bit weird because those are heavy enough. It seems like you should be able to see them. The jacket should change shape, but from the outside you can't tell at all.
So he has an amazing tailor.
Pretty much. Yes, pretty much. Yeah, it was expensive.
As a man with an expensive coat and an amazing tailor himself, I can tell an amazing tailor.
That's it. I'm sorry, who was it that had to go for a minute? Was that Vex?
Sorry, I'm back.
Oh, you're back. Okay, so is everybody getting in the car? And where are you guys sitting?
Yep.
I'm assuming a driver.
Yeah, you're gonna drive? Well, that would
I'll
make
go
sense.
shotgun
Okay.
because it's the best place to film anything while we're driving.
This is a slightly oversized SUV. It does have 3 full rows of seating in the back.
Yep.
In addition to the front seats.
Okay. And
So,
which one did Bullet get into?
he went to the third row at the back. He went to the back row, the third row. And he just kind of got comfortable in the third row, laid his shotgun next to him on the seat.
Well, then as we're hopping in, I'll suggest Marcellus takes driver side mid-row, and I'll take passenger side. That way we can cover the two in the front.
Yep, works for
That's
me.
good. All right. And let me flip over which map here. Right there. Okay, so this vehicle was parked out in front of the building. And you're going to head out. You're going to head toward the address you were given is... I got to slide my map over here some. It is actually... Let me see. This building... Oh, I got to change my pointer. This building right down here.
Okay.
And the address, if you pull it up on a map or anything, the address is actually on the water side. But obviously,
Alright.
you can't do that. You know, obviously you're not going in the water.
Right.
Probably.
So
I say
go
obvious.
on to the
I
back
think it'd be obvious anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I would agree. So
Oh,
in
no, I
that
can
case,
see it.
I was gonna say in that case, how about if I park right? Is there any way I can make a marker pop up?
Press and hold.
Yeah, that's what I was doing, but for some there it is, okay. So yeah, I was thinking that I would park don't know why it's not holding, but right behind the marker to the left in that back alley.
Let me, sorry, I'm doing a quick and dirty map here for us to have something to go by anyway. Okay, so I'm back on the main. So, now as you're heading toward, actually, as you drive toward the combat zone, you're going to have to go through the checkpoint there. This checkpoint is sometimes it's manned, sometimes it isn't. Who's manning it varies. There doesn't seem to be any particular schedule or anything to it. And this time it is actually, there's nobody there. So you just drive through.
Wow.
Gates are up. Nobody's guarding it or anything, so you can just go through. So yep, you're gonna go. I'm sorry. So you're gonna go down to the alley on the south side. Was that right?
Yes.
Okay, so you're gonna pull up down there. So I will flip us over to here. So you are parking. Oops. Just need to pick a different color.
So I have the yellow.
You're gonna park like down there someplace.
Yeah, I was thinking right around here.
Oh,
So that's good. That is the right building, right?
I didn't see your ping.
I drew a yellow.
Oh, you got the yellow mark. Okay, I gotcha. Okay,
Yep.
that's what I was curious about. Yes, that is the correct building there, where the stuff is going on. The squiggly blue, the terrible squiggly blue lines are the water,
The flooded area, right?
the flooded area, exactly. And this is actually the building in question. These boxes here are big glass door sets. Glass and steel open or not open, but glass and steel doors and entryway. And that's the this box and this box. This looks like it was probably built to be an office building or something like that, with the first floor being the entire first floor being open lobby to maybe have a restaurant, fast food, and stuff like that in. But it is. There's some windows are boarded up. Obviously, it's not that. Some windows are boarded up. If anybody has Streetwise and wants to roll it, you can maybe learn more about the status of this building. If you don't have the skill, you can still roll it if you want, but let me know you don't have the skill.
I have it.
Yeah, I have it. Just still getting used to the character sheet.
Yep, no problem.
Yeah, I'd roll for Streetwise.
You have points in the skill?
I have 2 points.
Okay. Like I said,
I'd also like to take an awareness notice to check out and see if what I can see as we're driving up to
Okay.
guards, entries, that sort of
Oh.
stuff.
As he's getting ready, I reach into the back of the coat and pull out my binoculars that I have and hand them over to him so he can get a better lookout in case he doesn't have zoom optics.
And so let's see here. We got rolling Streetwise. 18, 15, 17. Okay. Okay. Well, even the everybody. So is everybody that's going to roll Streetwise rolled it?
Yeah, I don't have any skill and my luck's so bad anyways. Plus, I'm new to the city.
You're new
so
to town too, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Same.
Wouldn't have any
okay.
basis to roll, so yeah.
Okay, good. Sounds good. So 15 is enough to know. The first floor of this building did flood. The water has mostly receded from it, but that means the walls, all the interior stuff, is in pretty nasty condition. No locals have tried to clean it up. There are transients that periodically live in the first floor, but it's pretty nasty. It's pretty bad. You would also know that the upper floors, although it was built for offices, is any rooms on the upper floors. This is a 10-story building. Any offices on the upper floors that are even remotely habitable, there's probably squatters in it. It's just because it's living space. The utilities are who knows, in that there periodically have been techs or people who have tried to hook up power one way or another to different parts of the building with limited and varying success. So, other than seeing lights on or something, there's not a way to know if there's power or if there's any utilities to a given piece of the building. That's the streetwise stuff. Marcellus, you did an awareness. Anybody else interested in doing awareness before I do just further descriptions on that part?
Yeah, I'll do awareness too.
Okay. Now, has anybody gotten out of the car, out of the vehicle or anything? Or did you just pull up the park? Everybody's still in it.
We were just driving up, doing all this stuff.
Okay, I'm just making sure I understand. And are you actually parking at this point, or are you just driving down the street?
Oh, I was just driving, kind of like rolling to a park.
Okay, you're gonna head south or north down this. The way however you came in, you could come in from either side. So.
The idea was that I would head southwest. I believe west would be away from the water, right?
West would be away from the water. So
the idea is that I would park I would make that immediate right and park right on that corner.
Toward away. So you're gonna come. Make sure I understand. One moment. You're gonna be coming like that, and yeah, where you put the other box is where you're planning to park. Okay, assuming you don't decide. Assuming that's what you decide to do, right?
Right.
Okay. Okay. There you go. Okay, so everybody's rolled awareness that's going to right now?
I'm looking for awareness. I can't find it.
Okay.
So I'm failing here.
Oh, while you're looking there, I got to roll a couple rolls to make.
Okay.
Let's see what I got. Hold on. Look at. I gotta roll my awareness. Oh my lord.
You might need to change your prescription or something.
I don't know what's going on. This is a hell of a day today.
Yeah.
And
Well, you're 20, you're still pretty good when you fumble.
Alright, where is he again?
Well, the fumble is 5, so it's actually 15 after the one.
I screwed up my awareness.
It explodes. It explodes
modifier.
negatively, you know.
Mm-hmm. And oops. We just moved in here. Well, apparently I'm as bad here. I'm looking for something on a sheet and not finding it. For just a moment.
It's because you did +2 instead of just 2.
Okay.
You only put a modifier.
Yeah. You don't even have to put the plus.
The
go
only
ahead.
time you put an additive there is if it's a negative modifier to condition. Then you put it as a negative number because adding a negative is subtracting a positive. And, yeah.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense.
Okay. So we got 23, 22, 23. Pac-Man is polishing his something or something. I don't. Oh, I know. Okay, let's see. So you're driving. So you're just on the wrong side of the car to be able to see the building. That's the problem.
That's fair.
You know, you're just on the wrong side of the car. You can't really see around people, and you can't see through the roof. So there you go. And the driver. That's messed up. The driver, the Nomad, rolled the highest for his awareness. Okay. Well, there you go.
Hey, he's the hyper-aware driver, all right? I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Oh, Marcellus, don't forget the +2 from the binos.
I
Okay.
did forget that. Yep, so
That's all right.
mine's actually 25.
You're actually 25. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, as you guys are rolling up here, as I said, the part that's pretty obvious is what was designed to be big entryway, a series of doors and revolving doors and stuff along here. When you get down to the corner, it's not hard to spot these. A lot of this glass is boarded up. Some of it's just broken and gone and missing. So there's holes, there's open areas. There are no lights at all coming from inside here. We're around midday, so there's plenty of light outside, but there's no obvious lights coming from inside the building. There are, well, like I said, there's areas where the glass wall here along the front is just completely gone and broken out. There's actually this north corner here. Actually, I'll go ahead and draw that real fast. That whole corner has been, well, like a large enough vehicle or something try to drive straight through the corner. So there's some rubble. Part of the building on that corner has collapsed a little bit. The upper floors at like the second or third floor and up don't seem to be affected by it, but that first floor is just all rubble and rocks and stuff piled up on the corner, as you noticed as you were driving down the road. Is there anything particular you guys are looking for? This is, I mentioned, a 10-story building. You really, from down here, you can't see the roof. Unless somebody was hanging out over the edge and you hung out the side of the car, out the window or something. Anything else particular, or what is there a particular thing you guys are looking for with your rolls?
Well, as the driver, I'd be looking for other vehicles.
I'm sorry, go ahead. Vixen?
I'd be looking for other cars like enemies or stuff like that.
Okay. There's a couple of burned out vehicles on the road just in general in this area. There's a couple of vehicles that have obviously been stripped and parted out, and the shell is still sitting there. One of those actually has a small fire burning inside the vehicle. Not like the vehicle still on fire, but more like somebody was living in the vehicle and that was their campfire. That kind of thing. I'm sorry. Give me just a moment, Griff. I'm sorry. I'll be right back, guys. I'll be right back.
Understandable.
Well, while he's away, what's your game plan, guys?
Yeah.
Let's see. Well, does Marcellus have Cyber Eyes or not?
He does not. He does with. He didn't get any. He didn't get out. He's very, very, very unaware. Really, he's got muscle and bone lace. He's got a neural processor and chip sockets. Couldn't afford any chips, but he's got the sockets.
Well, that's an investment in the future, really.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Well, you are the solo, and you have the intuition. If you want to borrow my set of smart goggles really quick, once we find a place to park and browse the building, it does have thermoptics, and you can combine that with the image intensifiers to zoom in for +2, and your combat sense awareness to figure out, what looks like a heat signature from a room that's occupied. And maybe you can figure out which floors are occupied by staring at the glasses, seeing radiant heat, or seeing the glass on
Yeah.
those floors.
That works very well for me. As I said, I mean, my first thing is as we're driving in to look for people that, aren't actually blending in properly as total and utter street scum, i.e. sentries and lookouts.
Okay.
And
yeah, fair.
that's what I'm looking for, because the chances are. So yeah, my awareness was really around. I'm looking at the people out on the streets and everything else. What I'm looking for is that trigger that says that homeless person is just too alert, too aware. They're probably not
Gotcha.
actually a homeless person. They're a sentry or a lookout and that sort of thing. So if this guy's gone and hired bodyguards and hold up in here, he's going to have some form of. There's got to be some form of early warning system. And it's most likely human, so that's what I'm looking for.
This street here, this block, I should say here, that you guys have come down, and once you get down to here, this area, from what you can see looking down this way, I get it to do it, and doesn't appear to be anybody on the streets, which is unusual. The people that rolled streetwise, everybody that rolled it would know this building has had a lot of squatters in and out. It's not a great place to live, but it's walls and shelter and stuff, and it's 10 stories. There's a lot of space up there. There's been a lot of people living up there. There's a lot of people in and out usually, but right now this block here. And when you get down there and look, the block around the corner here, there's nobody on the street at all.
Okay, well that's definitely unusual. And then using Pac-Man's smart goggles and thermal imaging and everything, I want to survey the building and actually look for heat signatures and everything to try and get an understanding of where occupants are within the building.
Okay. So at this point, you've driven down, you've pulled around here as you're doing that. You've pulled around the corner, and you're going to go ahead and park, right? Or did you want to do more of that while you're driving?
No, I was thinking I would park on that corner now.
Okay. We good? Okay.
Yeah,
if everybody's good with that, because there is time if you're rolling down this road here, there is time to do some stuff, but.
Yeah, I would
keep an idea of where your buddy
hope
is.
that Marsalis could get that look before we pull out, because I want to, once we jump out, have those things on my head because they go with the guns.
I gotcha. Okay, so in Marsalis, you're on, considering rolls and stuff, I'm going to say you must be on the driver's side, because Pac-Man's on the passenger side, couldn't see shit.
Yes, that was correct.
Okay.
That was actually our plan.
Okay, then that just kind of worked out, didn't it? Okay. So, looking as best you can. Again, this building. The front edge of this building is there's a relatively narrow, not a very wide sidewalk, maybe 10 foot of sidewalk, the road, and then sidewalk and another building. So to actually see up the building, you would have to almost be leaning outside your car, and looking up at the building, if that makes sense. You got a little bit of a look when you guys were still back here coming around the corner, but to really get detailed, and you're flipping back and forth with options, thermographic or whatever you can have on at the same time, checking that kind of stuff, you're going to have a hard time seeing some of that. But all that being said, what you can tell from your vantage point, and this is mostly limited by your vantage point because of where you guys are. Absolutely. Down at ground level. You do see some what you're guessing are probably fires burning at various floors. with the thermograph stuff, it looks like you're only probably penetrating to the first room, maybe at most inside the building. This was originally built to be a corporate office building, so it is reasonably well insulated. But there are a lot of windows and stuff too, which aren't going to be perfect. So at best, you're seeing into the first room. Probably at best, you're seeing a few floors up. You're not going to be able to see all the way to the top again, unless you're going to lean completely out of the car and stuff. And honestly, you're just not seeing much useful information. There's a couple of fires burning, probably cook fires or something like that from people squatting. You're not seeing any heat signatures that you can tell for sure are people.
Okay,
which
that's fine.
Isn't conclusive that there aren't any. It's just that from this vantage point and from the way you're looking and stuff, it's you don't have line of sight.
Makes perfect sense. I shall return the smart goggles to Pac-Man. What time of day is this, by the way? We're in the middle of the day.
Give or take middle of the day. Yep. And let me do a quick weather check.
When he hands me back the flashlights, just because I know the power may or may not be out in the building, or when he hands me back the goggles, I offer him a flashlight in case he doesn't have one,